11 o'clock East Coast time, PM. For those of you who are on Thorazine and just don't know what time it is, look, it's therapy time. I'm the Badger. This is no, I'm Brew. This is the Badger. Something like that. Yeah. If you look at the names, you'll be able to tell which one we are. I know we look like twins. Welcome to the Beatdown. What's going on, Badger?
What's going on, my brother?
Hey, I can't call it.
Yeah, man. Look, another day in paradise, another day in the books. We get to do it all over again tomorrow. But in the meantime, a little therapy has
Yeah,
been called for, I guess.
therapy. So, um, their mind again just went out on me, bro.
The top
Um,
rank card.
yeah, the girl from Canada,
Yes,
uh,
Kim Clavel.
Kim Clavel, the one she won an ESPY.
Right.
Looks like she came back with a victory.
Yeah, that was pretty one sided. She had a very good performance. I like her. She's a pretty good boxer. Her boxing ability looked pretty good, man. I'm not gonna lie, it looked pretty good.
Cool, cool. I was had to do a lot of work on my system, so I missed a good part of the card. And obviously, I didn't. I don't even know if the Valdez fight is over yet.
Yeah, it is. It is. You missed a pretty you missed a decent card. I mean, I think this worked out in their benefit. Isaac Dogbo was the opening bout, and he looked pretty good. He looked. There were moments in the fight where I saw old Isaac,
Uh huh.
where he wasn't as defensively sharp or as responsible as I thought he should have been. But I saw the heart, I saw the work ethic, and I saw a fighter that looked like that looked like he'd mentally recovered from two losses to the same guy back to back. So shots
Cool.
side to Isaac Dog, but it looked good though. Got a
That's
late stoppage, I think, with like a minute left in the fight in the eighth round. Got the stoppage.
that's what we were talking about last night. How was he going to rebound? Shout out to Pops. Thanks for chiming in. And looks like yeah, he did. He rebounded quite well.
Yeah, and it was cool to see Coach Barry Hunter and Bug finally get a win. I can't know the last time they got a win on national TV. I might be speaking out of turn, but it's been so long since we've seen anybody. I don't know, their last fight that they win, but it was good to see them working with Isaac. It looks like he's found a second home there in DC when he's not in London or in Ghana. So good for him.
Listen, I didn't think they had any fighters that weren't PBC fighters,
They don't. They don't. I think all the guys in their stable, well, the pro guys, I think they're all PBC guys, or at least prospects.
except for Isaac.
So, hey, we
So
gotta
would
we
I.
gotta we gotta get him for you, pops.
Yeah. You want a
We got
cowboy hat, a Kango, or one of them?
um, but yeah, so good for top rank with that show. Now, who I did like, I saw this young kid Elvis, the Dominican kid Rodriguez,
Yes.
junior welterweight, looked pretty good. Southpaw, the guy he was in there with, wasn't quite on his level, but looked good. Looked big to be a 140. That's what really stood out to me. He looked big. His shoulders, his back, his frame, just like he could carry so much more weight. Um, Looks like a pretty good puncher. And listen, he's trying to come back again in 3 weeks on the next card. He's ready. This kid's 7-0, 8-0 after tonight, and then he'll be looking to get right back in a few weeks.
Bro, did Clay Collard fight tonight?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay, because I saw something online that said that he fought tonight. I was like, I didn't think I saw him on the card at all. I didn't think I saw him. So
Yeah, no, I didn't
um,
see him either.
I got a your choice. Thanks, Pops. Um, I had a question for you. I saw an interview where Bernard Hopkins chewed up Larry Merchant, and Larry was trying to disrespect him, and Bernard Hopkins, believe it or not, classily chewed him up. Um, and it made me start thinking, Do you think it's a good thing for boxing that we have all these mid-range weights like junior welterweight, junior middleweight?
I mean, I don't think it hurts. I mean, I think the bigger issue with boxing is not too many weight classes, but it could also just be like we talked about before, one too many sanctioning bodies. You
Yeah.
know, one or two belts I think would suffice, but preferably one. Anyway,
Could you imagine though if there was only one belt in each weight?
yeah, that'd be big. But yeah, if you're referring to back when they split the weight classes, I think that was in the '60s,
Well,
'70s. They split the weight classes
I
because
think they
every
added the cruiserweight
well they
in the 90s, didn't they? Or the
yeah, the
80s?
cruiserweight they just added, but or
Yeah.
maybe late '80s, but they just cut the weight classes not too long ago. Um, I mean, you definitely get more guys in the sport. I mean, it would just be so much of a tougher grind because you
Hmm.
got to look at all those guys that are weight bullies. They drain themselves down to make that weight. They wouldn't be able to do that anymore. They'd have to fight in the class up now.
Yes.
So it's just it will be interesting to see. But for now, it is what it is, man.
No, it's just for discussion. That's all.
Yeah,
Because I mean, you really would be the world champion if you had one sanctioning body and you had one weight. Your just the standard weight classes, not all
right,
these mid range ones.
right,
You'd be the welterweight champ. You literally would be the welterweight champ. It wouldn't
yeah,
be. You wouldn't have a Canelo weight class. You wouldn't have.
yeah,
You would be literally the. That would be tight. I would like to see that,
yeah.
but I won't. So
I mean, yeah, I just think that in the age that we live in sports, you maximize every dollar that you can get out of it. That's another important part of it too.
yeah.
Now you have more fighters, you can put on more fights. And look, fighter safety is a big issue too. Maybe I'm not mad at this. Maybe this might be the safest way to do it because maybe guys that blow up too big or guys are naturally too small and are forced to make weight classes. Maybe this helps those guys out too. Not just looking at it from a bigger guy perspective all the time. So I don't know. I ain't got a problem with the weight classes. I got more problems with the variety of belts, the
Yeah.
ABC belts, and all that than I do the weight classes.
I know when I was a kid, I used to watch boxing on Wild World of Sports with my dad. It used to blow my mind when I'd see the welterweight champion of the world come in and fight, and 2 weeks later, the welterweight champion of the world came in again. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the same guy. And I had to realize, okay, we got the WBC, the WBA, and what was the other big one back in the 70s and 80s?
WBA.
No, I said WBA, WBC,
Oh, and IBF.
IBF.
Yep.
And the first IBF champion I ever realized was Tony Tucker.
hmm And don't forget the Ring Magazine belt, although it is not one of the sanctioned body belts, has always been a highly regarded belt as well.
And how does that work? They just vote on who the champion will
I mean,
be?
I guess Ring Magazine is the end all for boxing as far as writing goes. I guess it's kind of like the BWAA for baseball.
Okay.
You know,
Wow. Yeah.
so I think they may have more so to do with it.
Makes sense. I've always, because I mean, Tyson Fury had the ring boxing heavyweight championship, and what's the other one?
Andre Ward had it. Floyd had it. Does Canelo have it now?
Probably. So they just give you a belt.
Yeah, I mean you're just the number one rated fighter in that division, so you get the better
So you
for it.
never have to defend against any of the people under you in that. In that,
I don't know if it's mandatory now. I don't think it's like that.
because I
I
think
think
that'd
it's
be a
more. I
heck of
think it's more prestige than anything else.
that would be a heck of an event in Madison Square Gardens if you had the Ring Magazine champions, fighting contender. That'd be tight. It is once a year.
Yeah, but they're not a sanctioning body. And I don't know many guys that want to pay their fees to carry that belt either. Like I said, I think it's more of a symbolic thing. I
Right.
don't.
Like when we start giving out a championship belt.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
Just like
Wow.
that.
That was like when a kid just keeps asking you a question and you get tired of telling them yes or no or answering it. You're like, yeah, just like that. I caught it. All right. I'm not
Nah.
the boy.
Um, Edgar Berlanga friend of the show. We got an interview with Edgar a few years back. He fought on that Puerto Rico versus the World card
Yeah.
over in Orlando, and the kid's matured. He's grown up, and now he's one of Uncle Bob's highest rated prospects. He
Uncle
graced,
Bob.
yeah, he graced the ring tonight. Before this fight, he had five first round knockouts, consecutive five first round knockouts, and tonight he made six.
Really?
Yeah, wiped the guy out of there, man. Wiped him smooth on out of there, put him to bed, man.
That's got to be tough on your trainer. If you keep,
How about tougher on your matchmaker?
well, I mean, because your trainer's got to keep your head in the game. Got to keep you training for 6 round fights, 8 round fights. You're like, man, six
Yeah,
first round knockouts. This thing's got electricity in it. Then one day it
yeah,
gets unplugged.
that's true, but we know how we can avoid somebody getting knocked out in the first round. Put somebody that ain't gonna be able to get knocked out in the first round. So again, I think it's more
There you
pressure
go,
on the
Captain
matchmaker
Obvious.
to keep finding guys that'll be there to be hit, to be extinguished in one round versus the guys that won't be there or that'll be more defensively responsible and prevent those kind of things that happening. But listen, I'm all for the growth of these guys. I'm all about seeing these young guys win. So good for Edgar Berlanga, good for Top Rank. I mean, look, facts are the facts. 6 consecutive fights, 6 consecutive first round knockouts.
You're right. The facts are the facts. I
And
like that. Hey, yes, this is on the topic of boxing. I was watching a video earlier. It was actually released today, and they were talking about um, the greatest UFC fighters to never wear a strap. And I think you and I had a conversation about that in boxing a couple months ago. And I just wanted to throw this up. Who would be your greatest boxer to never wear a strap?
wow, man, that is a very hard question. Um, Greatest boxer to never wear a strap.
Never wear a
Wow.
strap. Yes.
Jeez. Wow. I am really having a hard time with this one because everybody that I'm thinking of has one. I'm. Give me a second. I gotta come up with one. I'm not. I gotta. Yeah. Give me a minute. I got you. I got
I haven't been able to come up with one. Not a legitimate one.
you. Wow. I can't believe how hard this is.
It is hard because you don't know if they had a regional strap or not. You don't know if they had a strap somewhere else.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of the guys that. Even Ruslan Provodnikov had a belt, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
When he fought Tim Brad, didn't he have a belt? Oh no, he didn't. Maybe he didn't have a belt. That belt, that
Oh.
fight was just for a belt. And it's definitely not Provodnikov, but that's where I'm at right now, trying to figure this thing out. Who never wore a strap?
Yes. You know who I finally had to just say? Sherman Henson.
I mean, when you say a strap, you mean from one of the four major sanctioning bodies, right?
Yes.
Not a regional belt, right?
No.
Okay.
Because that would make it almost impossible. Were you gonna say
I mean,
Silky?
if that's the case, yeah, I can say Silky. I can say Erickson Lubin. I can say
So it would be difficult though if somebody said regionals are included.
that's not possible.
It's
That's
possible.
not no,
It's
no
possible.
because then you end up picking a guy that's not very good because he couldn't possibly have won many fights. So now you just picking somebody just for the sake of picking them
No,
because
I
there's
got a
no way
name.
you can.
I got a name for you. Darnell Boone.
I don't know, man. I feel like Boone got a regional strap, man. I don't know about that one.
I honestly, last time I talked to him,
When he beat Adonis Stevens, no, he didn't. Adonis didn't have a belt then. When he it was a draw against Kovalev, and he just knocked Ward down. Correct?
he got a draw against both, I guess, because he had rematches.
Against yeah, no, I think he beat Adonis Stevenson,
Yeah, but he had a draw against Kovalev and somebody else who was a champion.
but
Who
he
was
didn't get a draw against Andre Ward, did he? He just knocked Ward down. My
right?
memory's okay. You might be on to something, bro. I
I,
mean,
that's who I would. You know what? That's who I'm locking my name to right there. Darnell
Daniel
Boone,
Boone. Oh, Boone,
the
yeah.
fisherman at night.
Boone got them blocks, boy.
And he had that thunder.
Man, Boone just looks strong, man.
Yeah, he, like if
He
you were in
looks
a bar
strong.
fight, he would just pick up the bar and hit you.
Yeah, Boone just looks strong, man.
But one of the nicest guys I've met.
I mean, but the ones that are usually about the things that they say, they're usually the ones that's cool and easy going and good to get along with, all that kind of stuff, because they know what they can do.
Yeah,
They know.
huh? That was just a question I thought of, and I was like, man, I need to ask him that.
What was that? Oh,
The
that
one I just
question.
asked you.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually gonna try to think about that. Maybe we can pick this up, like maybe if not tomorrow on tomorrow's show. Oh, by the way, the Fighter Share Report every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the show I'm referring to. Yeah, bro, that puzzled me. That's a good question, man. Like that's really got me. Now I'm in my bag about that one, bro.
I even tried to find an easier one. It went to pro wrestling.
Did David Tua ever get a strap?
I need to look. I'm not sure. I don't know if he or Galata got one.
Yeah, David Tua. But yeah, Oscar Valdez got the win tonight. Um, that was also a late stoppage. Um, he caught Jason coming in and put him down. He was landing the harder looking shots all night. I don't know if he got enough power to keep his homeboy off him though, and that's what everybody's talking about. It's going to be the big fight, Miguel Burchell.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if he has enough power for Burchell. Burchell just seems pretty strong. Pretty strong.
Nope. Tua never won a world title.
Tua never won. Well, there we go. So beat the drums and give me David Tua.
Really? You can have him. You can have him.
I can have him.
Tua.
Yeah.
So okay, that it's okay. Something else came up. I knew I had to bring it to your attention because I wanted to get your opinion on it. We kind of talked about it a little bit before, and it deals with the, um, I guess they would be welterweights, Usman's belt,
Okay.
and everybody's saying Gilbert Burns should be the next in line, and Ariel Hawani, I think it
Okay.
was Ariel. No, yeah, it was Ariel Hawani. Said that what was the dude's name? Leonard, the guy who was in line before. He was in line to fight Woodley, and something he got sick or something happened, and then Burns got a chance to fight Woodley. But they said he was on an eight fight win streak, where Burns was on a 4 inside the UFC and 6 total. Leonard, gotta start writing this stuff down. But and then Hawani was like, well, maybe you should have no. Cormier said that you should have Hawani fight um, Burns, since both of them were in line, just to see who really is deserving of this shot. Because right now,
You know,
Burns. Huh?
Okay, help me out. Hawani is the host of the show.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And he and Cormier got a little got in a little argument about who should be next in line. Hawani's like, I can't remember Leonard's last name.
Are you talking about Leon Edwards?
Leon.
Leonard.
Look,
Leon Edwards. Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
I
the
got the
British guy.
Leo right. Um,
Yeah.
Leon Edwards. He was saying that he should be next. He should be the one that gets the first crack at Usman, and Burns should just have to wait in line. And Cormier is like, no, you really should give it to Burns since he was in line and then COVID hit him, and then have Leon Edwards fight somebody else. And it was just funny because I started thinking, I'm like, how would you feel if you were next in line and something happened like COVID and you lost your spot, and then the next guy loses, gets COVID, but they want to put him right back in the next fight.
I mean, I'm obviously I'm sure Leon Edwards was pissed about that, but I think Leon Edwards has also been in the positions where he's been a benefactor of an issue or two like that. You kind of gotta go at the hot hand. We don't always agree with how the UFC makes fights, but for the most part, especially right now, um, they've been getting these cards pretty good. So I mean, hindsight is 2020, and it looked like it made it out for the fight that the people wanted anyway. I think people would be much more interested in Usman and Masvidal than they would have been against Usman versus Edwards.
Maybe.
Gilbert Burns leapfrog a couple of guys that a lot of people feel like he should have had to go through to get to the champ.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if that's the case, all these make for good fights. All of these fights, and that's the good thing about this particular weight class in the UFC, unlike their heavyweight brethren, there's a lot of talent there. Everybody behind Usman is a threat. Everybody. I just think the champ is that good. I do feel like Gilbert Burns would be the biggest threat per se, but I feel like the champ is just that good that he's just head and shoulders better than everybody else right now.
Well, we're about to find out. But they said he wants to spend a couple of months with his daughter, not training. So we may not even get another Usman fight before the end of the year.
Well, I think we both agreed that's when we thought we'd see him again at the end of the year. I mean, having spoken to Usman on a couple of occasions personally, but also just paying attention to what I see, um, based on the way he fights, it's a very rough style. It's physically taxing and demanding, and the only way to get into that kind of shape is to train in that manner. So I'm sure, man, he has a lot of nagging old injuries that he needs to try to heal up. Let him heal up. Too much time off at his age is a bad thing. Was he 30? Is he 35? 34?
34, 35, something like that.
Yeah, so he getting a little long in the tooth. Extended, very long periods of time off are bad for him, but I think fighting two, maybe three times a year works. And if we get to see him at the end of the year, then there's his obligation. Well, no, that would be his third fight this year because when did he fight Kobe?
Was it January?
Top of the year, right?
Yeah. But the way they're talking, we won't see him until next year because he wants to take a few months off to just kind of rest and enjoy his daughter, spend time with his daughter.
So he gets back in
And
September.
he gets a what 10 to 12 week camp, 8 to 12
Okay,
week camp.
put him in there. He come back. He take 2 months off. He comes back in September and he's fighting in December. It's possible.
We'll see.
Hey, listen, one thing we do know that the money is right.
He'll be there,
All right.
but I think he's stacking up the dollars to where the money's not gonna move him as much soon.
He ain't got that kind of paper yet.
You don't know what the man's doing outside the octagon. He might have linked up with Akon.
That is true. First of all, you're trying to say all Africans know each other.
I know you.
You ain't African.
I'm as African as you are.
And then neither one of us African. You from Baltimore and I'm from I'm from country Florida. Ain't neither of us never been to the motherland. Don't even know what it smell like, right?
Hey, in August in country Florida, it feels like you in the motherland.
I'm pretty sure dude never lied about that. He never lied about that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that Usman's one of the highest grossing guys in the UFC, and I would doubt it if he is. So he's gonna fight a couple more times. And look, He's still got a few years at a high level. He's got good genetics. He'll probably be able to hold this for a while, barring any significant injury. Man, he might be all right. He might be tough. Listen, his genetics ain't too far from Yoel Romero's. Kamaru Usman looks good to be in his mid 30s, early to mid 30s. Yoel Romero looks like somebody cut him out of a rock,
Yeah, he's
40
41.
plus. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he just don't move when he gets in the octagon with quick people.
yeah, yeah. Right on
That
like
it, to me it hurt his legacy.
his stop.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. I couldn't. It was worse than the Masvidal fight, the last Masvidal fight with Usman. It just and Israel wasn't going to press the action because Israel didn't want to get clipped, so he didn't have to. He just stayed outside, and Yoel didn't really do anything. And I don't know how you keep your cred when you tank.
Well, speaking of Izzy, since you brought his name up, how you feel about that fight getting finalized?
Him and John.
No, man, you got to pay attention. Him and Paulo Costa.
Yeah.
I like Paulo. Paulo looks the part that's gonna make casuals want to watch, right? Brazilian guy, good hair,
Israel gonna eat him up, bro.
definitely buff for what we're used to seeing coming out of Brazil. They usually produce smaller fighters. Oh, they do have some heavyweights, but
Yeah.
that middle range, that 70, 85 range,
They're usually long and lean.
right. So to see him come out looking like a superhero is pretty interesting. Um,
Good
now
luck
I'm
with
just
that.
saying I think that's a good way to sell the fight. Now, what I think is going to happen in the fight are two different things. I do feel like stylistically that it's all wrong for Costa. I do. Um, but we'll see. I haven't had a chance to really break down any of Costa's fights. I think I've only seen his last two. So I got to go back and dig in the archives a little bit, see what he got going on.
Realistically,
But out of saying it's going to be a mismatch for
yeah.
most guys in that 170, 85 pound weight class. But definitely, definitely those type of guys.
Yeah, the only person really looking at that, I mean, and again, I don't see him getting up to that weight class before John leaves. He's the one that's not going to be a matchup problem for John. I don't see him being a matchup problem for John Jones. I see John being the one who's going to be a matchup problem for him. Is John as fast as him? No. But John's got a wealth more experience, and he seems to be able to dissect fighters on the spot. So, and he's got the weight advantage. So the jabs that would normally maybe back somebody off at 205, is he gonna feel the leg kicks, the body kicks? Is he gonna feel? And somebody was telling me their argument was, well, John will be too slow to land them. He's not gonna be too slow to land a leg kick, and he'll be able to check Izzy's leg kicks. I think that was just more talk than anything else about Izzy really coming up there trying to fight him when he said, well, I got to stay here and clean out the division. Okay. John was like, come on, I need this payday.
Yeah. I don't want to jump into talking about that fight because that's so far from a possibility. I feel,
Right.
but I do think is he's going to be a tough out for somebody. Can he be put out? Absolutely, without a doubt, he can be put out.
Yeah.
But he's a talented kid, and he's believing his hype, which is just as important. So I don't see anybody beating him at 185. I think this Costa fight's going to be pretty cool because again, whatever he does to Costa, if he comes out victorious in this fight, is going to look even more emphatic because he's such a big dude.
Mhm.
Paulo Costa probably walks around at 205 at least, and that's if he really ain't. That's if he's working out. If he just kind of really kicking it, he probably bought about 220.
Probably. Because his body can handle it.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. When is that fight scheduled for?
Don't get me the line. I want to say I thought it said September.
Okay. September is gonna be a busy month.
Oh yeah. Ah, fresh off the presses. You know I need to be there tomorrow, 12 p.m. Guess who's doing a virtual conference? My people.
Out here,
Showtime and PBC to roll out what they finna hit us with in the third and fourth quarter, my friend. How you feel about that?
how we? Where do we find that?
I think it'll be on Showtime. You gotta look it up, but I think it's gonna be on Showtime.
Oh, it's gonna be on television, not gonna be like on Instagram.
No, I'm saying social. No, I'm saying on like the Showtime platform. But yes, Facebook. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
the Showtime Facebook and YouTube channels. I'm pretty sure that's what we be able to
I
find
would
it.
almost guess it's gonna be on PBC as well.
I didn't see them promote it, but probably so.
But I'll be watching it. I will be watching it. You said at noon?
Yep.
Okay. Most definitely. It's be interesting to find out what gonna happen. What gonna happen.
Yeah, it's about time. It's about time we get a little parody going on because Uncle Bob done been killing the game.
Yeah.
The zone them had a few cards here and there. They ain't really been as active as I thought they would have.
No.
But they got a big month coming up. I know they got Dynamite Dubois and who's the other heavyweight he's fighting? Oh man, I can't call it. I have to look it up. But they got a heavyweight fight coming up this month. So the zone will get the ball rolling. I think
Okay.
everybody kind of finding their footing right now. I think PBC took the longest. PBC Showtime took the longest to kind of get their bearings. The other kind of guys are already come out the gate running, and Top Rank is kind of running away with it right now. But
Hey, you did you did catch the with all this stuff going on that Trump actually invited Obama back to the White House.
is this story time already, or what's happening right now?
No. Come on.
Okay, no, I didn't believe that, bro. Go on,
Really?
continue.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
go ahead.
Trump got rid of the whole COVID task force and all that
Right,
stuff, and
right.
yeah,
Dismantled anything that resembled Obama. But go ahead.
exactly. But quiet as it's kept, he brought Obama back to the White House for a meeting to really try to figure out how he can rectify what he did. And he figured the best way is to go to the source. So again, he invited President Obama back with Michelle, and they had a very good, lengthy meeting. Got the whole state dinner, everything. They would get ready to leave, and President Trump actually extended an invitation as late as it was. You all can stay over. President Obama said, "No, I think we'll get on out of here." He said, "First, I'm gonna use the restroom." So he went in the restroom and went up to the urinal. Trump walks in the restroom, walks up to the urinal next to him, looks over and says, "That's pretty impressive." Barack says, "Why? Thank you, Donald. But I really don't appreciate you staring." He says, "But that's really impressive. That's like half your size. How you do that?" He said, "Well, my dad told me when my grandfather told me when I was a young boy to slap it on the bedpost 3 times when I go to bed. Turn the light out, walk in, slap it on the bedpost." He says, "In no time at all, you'll have one just like mine." Trump says, "Well, thank you. This is better than the other information you gave me." At night, he walks in his room, turns off the light, slaps it on the bedpost 3 times, starts to get into bed, and Melania said, "Is that you, Barack?"
You gotta relax, bro. Like, I mean, is that you, Barack?
What?
Sure, Michelle wouldn't think that joke was very funny, by the way.
Probably not. But as long as my name is not J. Crew, I'm safe.
I can see that. I can see that.
So what's on the tube, man? I'm trying to see what's going on behind you.
Well, what's behind me is looks like Ulysses Claw is about to steal some vibranium. This would be the Avengers 2. Age of Ultron.
Yes, yes.
That's where.
Vibranium.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I got to do that commercial, man. I keep thinking about it. I got to go ahead and do it before they come out with Black Panther 2. And I can't say that. I talked to you about it a long time ago, and I won't say it now because somebody will definitely take this idea. So
Well, definitely hold on to it, then, brother. If that's how you
yes,
feel.
I got to get that done. So your boys are in the bubble in Orlando.
Yeah, they are. It's interesting to hear guys talk about their childhood heroes. Listening to a podcast today, and it talked about how Kimber Walker was in awe of LeBron James. Now, Kimber Walker is no drop shot. He's been an All Star at least once, hasn't he?
Couple times.
Yeah, yeah. Kimber's the real deal. Like one of the best point guards in basketball. And he's just talk. He tells his friends how he saw LeBron, just kind of hanging out by himself, like not in game LeBron or not LeBron with a million cameras. Him just walking by himself. I mean, I guess we don't understand how this generation looks at LeBron, but LeBron has been in the league since 2002.
That's when he came in the league.
Yeah, LeBron was born in 1984, if I'm not mistaken. So he's 35, probably about to be 36. So you got to think when he came into the league at 18,
Yeah, he looked 40 then.
Kemba Walker was probably like in middle school or something. So this is like his Jordan.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just walking around, just casually hanging around, like not in a game in competition, or not with some huge entourage following him. Right, just him by himself in regular moments.
Bro, I get it. I was out in LA back in 2007. My sister had won this competition that we got to go visit some sets, like the set of the show Dexter on Showtime and a couple other ones. And but the first night we were there, we were staying at the Beverly Hills, Beverly Hilton, and I had come down and because I had to go back up and get my sister's jacket. I'm coming down to bring her a jacket, and I'm walking by this crowd, and she's like this, and I'm like, what? And she's like that, and I turn and look, and it's Gladys Knight. I ain't gonna lie, I turned into a little meow. Gladys! But then I realized, I didn't want to get like beaten up by security. But yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. Hey, I ran into Ron Howard at that same trip,
Oh wow, really?
and I'm thinking, it'd be no big deal to run into Ron Howard. Then you start thinking back to Opie and Richie Cunningham.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I get it. I get it. You run into somebody who's your idol, calls you to go into that sport or that career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that has to be tight.
Yeah, I can only imagine so. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. But sliding away from the guys in the bubble, they got their own barber shop. I'm still tripping on that.
Yes, there are a lot of black guys in there.
Lewis Hamilton versus Mario Andretti. Have you heard about that?
I did, but I didn't know it was on. I didn't know it was a real thing. I thought it was just something they were talking about.
Well, no, it's not a race. They're apparently, Andretti is calling Lewis Hamilton an instigator in so many words, saying that he's creating this whole narrative about diversity or lack thereof in F1, and that's not even an issue. Yeah, it says that Lewis Hamilton pressured F1 into a rushed show of support or rushed actions based upon the Black Lives Matter movement. Thought that was interesting. But
Yeah,
Andretti is Italian, right?
very much so.
Okay.
Andretti,
So,
Mario. Yeah,
yeah,
pretty Italian. I mean, his name couldn't be more Italian if it was lasagna.
silent on the G, by the way. But yeah, so how do you feel about it? I mean, Lewis Hamilton is the face of all of racing sports, but especially a god in Formula One. I think he's only one championship behind the great Michael Schumacher, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken. He's then that kind of rare air. Michael Schumacher Ayrton Senna, who died tragically in a wreck, and Lewis Hamilton. That is a rarefied air. That is almost like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and whoever else. More than
Joe
likely
Montana.
be like LeBron James, right? Like, and those guys are in rarefied air in all of sports. That's the kind of consistency Lewis Hamilton has had over the last 10 years, and he's revered like that through all of racing.
Right.
So he's someone that's pretty accomplished. And oh, by the way, for those of you that don't know, Lewis Hamilton is black with
Hmm.
extremely ethnic hairdos, and has always been very open about the discrimination and things that he faced coming up, all the way from kart racing, getting into
It's real.
Formula One, and now he is the face of all of motorsports, but definitely of F1,
It's real.
behind the biggest back team with the biggest budget. Lewis Hamilton can keep winning forever, man. With the money that Petronas and Mercedes Benz has put into him, it's gonna be hard to beat, man. I mean, they've been clobbering Ferrari. Ferrari, I think, did Ferrari win it the year before last? Like 1 year between Hamilton and win it, and I think Ferrari might have won that year. But I
Uh,
mean, they're outgrossing Ferrari. They're outspending Ferrari because they're outgrossing them.
Right.
And you
And
got a
it
black man, the face of Formula One. Come
and
on,
it's
man.
funny because Ferrari used to kill him. Used to kill him. Didn't Ferrari have Jackie Stewart?
I don't know, but they also had what was the name of that guy they just made a movie off of? Um, uh, Duda, Mickey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one that got burned up really, really bad. Yeah,
They might not have had Jackie Stewart when I come to think of it, but Ferrari was
but I
yeah,
mean, Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher. I mean, just those two alone throughout the '90s and late '80s. I mean, those
yeah.
guys were they, you know,
But then came your
yeah,
boy.
yeah. He's what Bubba Wallace was one day hoping he could be.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna reach that part, but
Imagine if Bubba put it this way, put it in context. Most people imagine Bubba Wallace being mentioned in the same era as Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty,
Cale Yarborough. Yeah.
and then somewhere in that Mount Rushmore you hear Bubba Wallace. Like imagine the impact that would have on NASCAR. That's what Lewis Hamilton has done to Formula One.
Yeah. And the funny thing is he doesn't get a lot of rep of they don't we don't talk about him a lot over here.
Yeah, because we're not a racing country per se.
We're not gonna say that because we are. It's just the type of racing.
Right. We're the most
And
popular racing in this country is NASCAR. That does not resonate globally.
and if you had
And
a
it's only
rust,
done in America.
and
Formula One actually comes here.
if you had a Rusty Wallace who was in Formula One, or a not with Jeff Gordon,
Rusty
but I
Wallace
was
was my guy, by the way. Go
yeah.
ahead.
I'm just saying if you had them in Formula One, you'd hear about it here more than just on the Indy circuit. You would
Yeah,
hear about it here.
yeah.
Um,
At one point, IndyCar was trying to compete with Formula One, but something happened there, and it just the gap just widened. I don't know what happened.
Formula One came here.
Oh, well, that too.
I mean, you look like the St. Petersburg Grand Prix. That never struggles, bro.
That's not F1. That's Indy.
Yeah,
No, the St. Pete Grand Prix. That's not Formula One. That's Indy.
that's
Formula One comes. Yeah, Formula One comes once a year, and it comes to Texas. It's the racetrack out there in Fort Worth. Yeah, they don't. St. Pete Grand Prix is IndyCar. It's not
I
Formula
thought
One.
that. Honestly, as long as I've been watching it, I really thought that was Formula One as well.
Nah.
But those are in. You sure they're Indy cars?
Yeah.
Huh? I did not know.
hmm Even the league where I'm from that races in the 12 hours of Sebring back home, even that league, doesn't get a lot of notoriety in the states. So, I mean, there's only so many eyes to go around because we have so many distractions here.
Right.
Whereas in the UK, man, Formula One is a big sport because not only do all the countries share it, but it's global racing. And I will be intrigued to see what those numbers are looking like as how they decide to expand schedules. But they race all over Asia. I'm not sure if they go to Africa or not, but they come over here. I think they go to Canada. I think they go to They go to Mexico. By the way, there's a series on Netflix. I think it's called Driver or something like that. Check that out. That's dope. I watched both seasons of it, man. You realize how competitive Formula One is and how expensive it is. Very, very expensive. Very, very expensive.
Well, it's funny because they talk about most of the sports that we're really not in are very, very expensive. Like I went to high school with this girl, Rhonda Cersei, and she was working in the shop. She was like the top mechanic in our high school shop as a sophomore, junior, sophomore, and she was working on the side to get money to buy her racing suit. And I started learning from her just how expensive because you gotta have parts for your car. You got to make sure you're safe. Stuff always breaks down, and then you got to pay fees. To go here to do this and transport. Listen, certain sports are expensive for a reason. Racing's expensive for a reason. Tennis, you wouldn't think tennis would be that expensive. Tennis is very expensive. Um, Golf is quite expensive. Those are sports that we don't tend to get into as a whole. A lot of it is because of the cost at an early age.
Yeah, I mean, I concur. That's obvious. And that's why we succeed at sports that don't take a lot of funding to get into, like basketball, like football, like fighting. Right? These sports are relatively cheap. But yeah, but as we begin to break down these generational wealth gaps, and as families tend to get into better socioeconomic statuses, you're going to see more of us get into these sports that we typically wouldn't get into.
Yeah. Listen, I remember the day I actually realized fighting was a sport. I just thought it's something you did to survive, like when you around your older cousins. Hey, you fight. And I was like, oh, people put gloves on and do this. Okay.
Yeah, and get paid quite well for it.
And get paid. Yeah. But like anything, it's people behind the scenes that are making all the money.
Yeah, touche, touche.
I had a young lady approach me right before COVID hit. Um, she had seen one of our first shows for this season when we were actually in the same place doing the show. And she was like, her and her sister had always wanted to start a boxing organization. And that was what they were actually looking to do, was to start a small boxing organization and hope it would grow because they grew up loving boxing. And they they've been in boxing gyms and this and that, but that wasn't the area they wanted to you know to go in. They wanted to own the organization. So
Hmm,
I wish I had really kept up with her to find out exactly what happened.
that's interesting. Hmm.
Yeah. Two black girls in this area wanted to start a boxing organization.
I'm pretty sure they ain't hard to find. They out there somewhere trying to figure it out. They that passionate about it.
Well, it was kind of hard when COVID hit because nobody was fighting.
Yeah, true.
So she was like, "You think it's impossible?" I said, "No, they had a black wrestling organization in DC, and it was run by a Jewish guy named Andy. I actually almost joined it.
Yeah.
This was back in 2000. It was 1990. No, it was 2000, summer of 2000. It was interesting. I went to a meeting. I saw some of the characters that were coming aboard. We were actually gonna get our wrestling licenses for free. Guy was gonna willing to give us the whole course, and that was gonna be it. But Sometimes life happens because I thought, man, this is it. Finally, I get my way in.
Mm.
But look,
Well,
if I had gotten in there, I might have made too much money to ever meet you. So
could have been a thing, bro.
I definitely wouldn't have met you at Humana. That just wasn't gonna happen.
We don't speak of that place here. So we got a story.
We had one.
Oh, you already gave it to us. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You should have gave me the cue. I didn't know, but it
Oh,
was it
okay.
was it was one for the books. Yeah.
The record books, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
That's a good place to end. Um, hey family, thank you all for tuning in. Uh, we're here every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 11 p.m. Sunday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. This is all Eastern Standard Time. The Fighter Share Report on Sunday and Wednesday, 7 p.m. The Beatdown Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Oh yeah, look across the bottom, and it'll tell you. Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sunday and Monday for a Friday Share Report, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Family, thank you for joining us. We hope those that may be going through some things, hopefully we've give you a good diversion during this time. Let you know that life is still worth living. Hey, if you want to see us talk about something, if you want to see us, hit on a certain topic that we really haven't, why don't you get at the Badger? Yeah, that's right. The Badger LMC on Instagram, or you can get at Got Brew on Instagram. Let us know if there's something you really want to us to cover,
Or the
and we're
fighter
not
share on
covering,
Instagram.
huh?
Or the fighter share on Instagram.
Or the Fighter Share on Instagram. Yes, that might be even better. Let us know, and we'll do our best to research it and cover that. And good night to you, pops. So, hey, I'm gonna turn it over to my partner. God bless y'all. I'll pray for you.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much sums it up. We ain't got a whole lot, man. We want to thank everybody for riding with us. Thanks for Pops for checking in as always. Faithful, always coming through for us. Everybody out there to support us, man. Make sure y'all check us again on repeat every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But guess what? Tomorrow is the Fighter Share Report every Wednesday. That means tomorrow and Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All my entrepreneurs out there, man, keep your head up like Tupac.
Keep
Fighter
your
Share
head
Nation.
up.
That's all we got. We out here.